Welcome to another deep dive, and this time we're going beyond the headlines to explore a fascinating report from the World Economic Forum. It's all about AI in education, and it's not just some dry policy document. It paints a pretty compelling picture of how artificial intelligence could completely change how we learn and teach in the coming years.
Yeah, it's really forward-looking. I was struck by how they set the stage, before diving into the AI stuff. They actually start by laying out the major challenges facing education systems around the world. Sort of like, here's the context, here's the landscape, and then boom, here's how AI could play a role.
So let's dive into that context then. What are some of the big hurdles the report highlights?
Well, the one that jumps out immediately is the teacher shortage. And we're not talking about a minor issue here.
Yeah.
UNESCO predicts we'll need a staggering 44 million more teachers by 2030 just to meet basic educational goals. That's a massive number. It really puts things into perspective.
44 million. Wow. That's almost like needing the entire population of a country to become teachers, and I imagine certain regions are being hit harder than others.
Absolutely. The report points out that sub-Saharan Africa is facing the most severe shortage, which obviously has huge implications for their education system.
Yeah.
And it made me think about how, here, even in developed countries, we see the strain on teachers. Larger class sizes, less individual attention. It's a real issue.
Yeah, you're right. It makes you wonder how much learning is being lost just because teachers are stretched so thin.
Yeah.
And it's not just the sheer number of students, right? There's all the administrative work teachers are bogged down with.
Exactly. The report cites some OECD findings. The teachers spend less than half their time actually teaching. The top stressor for teachers.
Yeah.
Administrative tasks. It's like they're drowning in paperwork instead of, actually nurturing young minds.
It's almost like we're setting teachers up to fail, with these impossible demands. No wonder there's a shortage if the job itself is so incredibly demanding. It makes you think, what could teachers achieve if they were freed from all that?
And that's where the report starts to get really interesting. It suggests that AI could help automate many of these tasks. Things like grading assignments, generating lesson plans, even compiling research materials. Just imagine teachers having more time to focus on mentoring, inspiring, fostering a love of learning. It's a pretty compelling vision.
It is. It's like giving teachers superpowers, letting them use their skills and passion where it matters most. But even with incredible teachers, there's still this challenge of keeping up with the skills students need, right? The job market is changing so rapidly, driven by technology.
You're hitting on another big theme in the report, the digital skills gap. And it's widening fast. A staggering 68% of executives report a significant gap in AI skills among their workforce. And this isn't just about coding. It's about understanding how AI impacts everything, from healthcare and finance to even art and music.
So we're talking about a whole new level of understanding, right? Not just knowing how to use tech, but understanding the implications of AI, how it works, how it's changing the world around us. That's a pretty tall order for education systems to tackle.
It is. But here's the twist. The report suggests that AI itself might be a key part of the solution to closing this gap.
Okay, that's intriguing. So how does AI go from being, potentially part of the problem to being part of the solution in education?
Well, one of the biggest areas is personalized learning. Imagine every student having access to a learning experience tailored to their specific needs, their pace, their interests. AI could make that possible. Imagine adaptive learning platforms that adjust to each student's strengths and weaknesses, providing instant feedback, offering tailored recommendations.
It's almost like having a personal tutor for every student. That's pretty incredible. But hasn't one-on-one tutoring always been a thing? What makes the AI approach different?
You're right, one-on-one tutoring can be very effective, but it's also really expensive and difficult to scale. The report acknowledges that. AI has the potential to bring those benefits of personalized learning to every student, regardless of background or socioeconomic status.
That's powerful. It's like democratizing access to really high-quality education. But with AI doing all this personalized tutoring, where do human teachers fit in?
Yeah, that's the crucial question, and the report tackles it head-on. The emphasis is on AI empowering teachers, not replacing them.
Okay, so more like a sidekick than a replacement, but how does that actually play out?
Well, think about it. AI could handle those tasks that are currently bogging teachers down, like the grading, the lesson planning, even some of the administrative work. This would free teachers up to focus on what they do best, building those relationships with students, providing that personalized guidance and support, inspiring a love of learning.
It's almost like shifting the teacher's role from, being the information dispenser to being more of a mentor, a facilitator, a guide. I'm starting to see how this could work. Teachers get to focus on what they're passionate about, and students get a more personalized learning experience. It sounds like a win-win. But how do we actually make this happen? What does it look like in the real world?
Well, the report goes beyond theory and actually showcases some real-world examples of how AI is already transforming education.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. Give me some examples.
One that stands out is the UNICEF Accessible Digital Textbooks Initiative. They're using AI to create textbooks that can adapt to the needs of students with disabilities. Think about textbooks that can narrate text, provide sign language videos, and even adjust font sizes on the fly, all tailored to the individual student.
That's incredible. It's like we're finally designing education with accessibility in mind from the ground up, and that's just one example.
Right, that's just one. There are tons of other examples of how AI is being used to personalize learning, bridge the digital divide, and empower both teachers and students.
This is really exciting stuff, but I also have to ask about the potential pitfalls. What about data privacy, algorithmic bias, the impact on the teaching profession? These are big issues, right?
You're absolutely right. Any new technology comes with challenges. It's not about blindly embracing AI, but thoughtfully integrating it into education in a way that benefits everyone.
It sounds like a delicate balance.
It is. It's not just about the technology. It's about how we use it, what values we embed in its development.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for, well, not so good. So I'm feeling a lot more informed and honestly a bit more optimistic about the future of education after digging into this report. It seems like AI could really be a game changer,
Yeah.
but we have to approach it thoughtfully and intentionally, right?
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive so far. I'm already feeling like I need to go back and re-listen to everything.
It's a lot to take in. The key takeaway, I think, is that AI has the potential to transform education in some really profound ways. But it's up to us to make sure that transformation is a positive one.
I couldn't agree more. We'll be right back after a short break to continue exploring this fascinating topic.
So before we're talking about, that big picture potential of AI, personalizing learning, empowering teachers. But one thing that really struck me about this report is that AI in education isn't just some far-off concept. It's already happening.
That's right. The report highlights some really cool real-world examples. I'm kind of dying to hear about those. What kind of initiatives are actually out there making a difference right now?
One that really impressed me is this program in Uruguay, the CEBL Computational Thinking and Intelligence Program.
Yeah.
Get this. They're integrating computational thinking and AI concepts into the curriculum for something like 80% of their urban public schools and 250 rural schools.
Wow, that's a serious commitment. But what does that actually look like in practice? Are they like teaching kids to code AI algorithms?
It's more than just coding. It's about weaving those concepts into different subjects, math, language, science. So students develop this foundational understanding of how AI works, how it impacts all these different fields.
I see. So it's less about the technical nuts and bolts and more about giving them this mental framework for thinking about AI.
Exactly. It's about fostering AI literacy, for the next generation. And they're not shying away from the complexities either. They also address ethical considerations, things like how those machine learning models actually work, responsible data usage, identifying potential biases.
That's smart. I mean, it's one thing to know how to use AI, but it's another to understand its limitations, its potential pitfalls. It sounds like they're really preparing these students to be informed and responsible users and creators of AI.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. And another initiative that I found interesting is Grok Academy's work in Australia and New Zealand. They're doing these school cybersecurity challenges, and they're equipping teachers with resources to introduce cybersecurity concepts, starting from like year 5 all the way up to year 12.
Cybersecurity, that's interesting. What does that have to do with AI in education?
Well, as AI becomes more and more woven into our lives, cybersecurity becomes even more critical. You have to think about protecting sensitive information, preventing data breaches, understanding the risks of, things like malicious AI.
That makes sense. I mean, the more we rely on AI, the more important it is to protect ourselves. So these cybersecurity challenges, are they kind of giving students the skills they'll need to navigate this new landscape?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just the technical skills. They also teach about digital citizenship, media literacy, how to spot misinformation online, all that stuff.
Right. Those critical thinking skills are more important than ever. It seems like the whole idea of what it means to be educated is changing. It's not just about those traditional subjects anymore.
Absolutely. It's how you think, how you learn, how you adapt. Those are the skills that will be valuable in this rapidly changing world.
So we've heard about Uruguay, Australia. Any other examples of how AI is being used to kind of empower young people around the world?
Oh yeah, there's so many. One that really stands out is the 3D Africa for Girls program in Nigeria. They're using 3D printing and digital manufacturing to teach girls aged 10 to 18 how to design, prototype, market, even sell their own products.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like they're giving these girls the skills and the confidence to become entrepreneurs, innovators.
Right. It's a hands-on, project-based learning experience that combines technology, creativity, problem-solving, business skills, all in one.
And of course, they're addressing the gender gap in STEM fields, which is so important. And it's showing these girls that they can be tech creators, not just consumers.
Exactly. And it's having a real impact. Over 90% of the program's graduates go on to enroll in universities, and over 85% pursue STEM, or tech-related career.
Those are some seriously impressive stats. It's clear this program is making a difference.
And that's just one example. There are so many incredible initiatives out there, from AI-powered language learning platforms to, virtual reality simulations that bring history to life. It really feels like a golden age for educational innovation.
It's inspiring to see how people are using AI to, not just personalize learning, but make it more engaging, more accessible for students of all ages, all backgrounds. It seems like AI has the potential to address some of those long-standing inequities in education.
Absolutely. But like we were talking about earlier, it's important to approach this with, a critical eye. Make sure AI is developed responsibly. Address those concerns about data privacy, the changing role of human educators.
That's right. It's not a magic bullet. We have to be really thoughtful about how we integrate it, make sure it benefits all students.
And the report really hammers this home. AI should augment and enhance the work of teachers, not replace them.
Right, right. We can't forget that human element. Teachers play such a vital role, not just in imparting knowledge, but mentoring, supporting, inspiring their students. That's something AI can't do.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot, that synergy between human expertise and artificial intelligence, where they can work together to create this more engaging, effective, and equitable learning experience for everyone.
So it's not a question of humans or AI. It's about finding the right partnership, the right balance.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, this has definitely given me a lot to think about. I'm wondering, what other exciting developments are on the horizon for AI in education? What are you most excited about?
One area I find really fascinating is the development of AI-powered learning companions. Think about virtual companions that can provide personalized support, answer questions, offer encouragement, even adapt to a student's emotional state.
That's incredible. It's like having a study buddy who's also an AI genius. That's wild. Anything else?
Another area that's getting a lot of attention is using AI in early childhood education. Researchers are exploring how to create those really engaging and interactive learning experiences for young children to foster, language development, social emotional skills, a love of learning right from the start.
Wow. AI for toddlers, I hadn't even considered that. But that raises another question, Ryan. How do you make sure these technologies are developmentally appropriate?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. Researchers and educators are grappling with this right now. How do you find the right balance between technology and that all-important play-based learning that's so crucial at that age?
It's about supporting their whole development, right? Not just drilling them with information. We want them to be curious, creative, engaged.
Exactly. Playful learning, enhanced and personalized with AI. That's the vision.
I have to say, this whole conversation has really opened my eyes to the potential here. It feels like we're on the verge of something truly transformative.
I agree. It's an exciting time to be in the field of education, that's for sure.
It really is. But as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm wondering, what can our listeners do to actually get involved in shaping this future?
That's a great question. And I think there are a few key things they can do.
Okay, lay 'em on me. What's step one?
Well, first and foremost, stay informed. Read articles, listen to podcasts like this one, go to webinars, follow organizations that are doing the work in this area.
Okay, so knowledge is power. Educate yourself about the potential, the challenges. Got it. What else?
Step two, get involved. Volunteer at a local school, mentor a student, support organizations working to bridge that digital divide. Make AI education accessible for everyone.
Yeah, put that knowledge into action. I love it. Number three.
Advocate for change. Talk to your elected officials, school board members. Make your voice heard. Let them know AI in education matters.
Yes. Raise awareness, push for policies that actually support learners and educators in this new landscape. What else?
And finally, don't be afraid to experiment. If you're a teacher, Try integrating AI tools into your classroom. If you're a parent, encourage your kids to learn about AI and its applications.
Right. Get creative, try new things, embrace the possibilities.
It's really true. The future of education isn't something that's just happening to us. We're all creating it together.
That's a powerful thought. And kind of an exciting one. It's like we're all part of this grand experiment, this journey of discovery, and we have the power to shape the future of learning.
We do. And if we approach it thoughtfully, with a focus on the human element, I think that future is incredibly bright.
I love that. This has been such an inspiring conversation. It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize education, but it's up to all of us to make sure that revolution is a good one.
I couldn't agree more. Responsibility, curiosity, commitment to making learning accessible and empowering for everyone. Those are the guiding principles we need to carry forward.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back to wrap up our deep dive into AI and the future of education.
Welcome back. I don't know about you, but my mind is still spinning from all those amazing examples. It's incredible to see how AI is already making a tangible difference in education all over the world.
Yeah, it really is. And what strikes me is just how diverse those initiatives are. We talked about AI being used to personalize learning for students with disabilities, teaching computational thinking skills in Uruguay, empowering those young entrepreneurs in Nigeria. It really showcases the breadth of possibilities, you know? It's like AI is this toolkit, this incredibly versatile toolkit with all these different applications, and we're just starting to figure out what we can build with it.
That's a great way to put it. And I think that's what makes this such an exciting time to be involved in education. There's this incredible potential for innovation, for creativity. It feels like, exploring uncharted territory. We're just at the very beginning.
I love that analogy. It's not about following a set path, it's about forging our own, experimenting, taking risks, learning as we go. But with all this uncharted territory, it can also feel a little daunting. Where do we even begin?
I think the key is to remember that AI is a tool. It's not, the solution in itself. It's about using it thoughtfully and intentionally, addressing the challenges and opportunities that are already there in education.
Right, so it's not about replacing teachers with robots, but about finding ways to use AI to empower teachers,
Yeah.
to personalize learning, make education more accessible and equitable for everyone.
Exactly. Humans and AI working together. That's the key.
And that brings me back to something you said earlier about the importance of that human connection in education. No matter how sophisticated AI becomes, it can never really replace that role of the teacher as a mentor, as a guide, as an inspiration.
Absolutely. Teachers are the heart of education. They bring passion, empathy, creativity, a deep understanding of, how humans learn and grow. Those are qualities that AI can't replicate.
It's a good reminder that as we embrace all these possibilities of AI, we can't lose sight of that essential human element. Technology can enhance and augment the learning experience, but it can't replace those fundamental human connections, those interactions.
Right. At the end of the day, the most effective learning environments will be those that find that balance, that sweet spot between the power of technology and those irreplaceable qualities of human interaction.
It's not either. It's finding that partnership, that synergy.
Couldn't agree more. Bringing together the strengths of both to create something truly unique and transformative.
Well, this entire deep dive has been so thought-provoking. I think it's safe to say we've only just scratched the surface of this topic. It's complex, it's constantly evolving.
It really is. But I hope this conversation has sparked some curiosity, maybe even a little bit of excitement about what AI can bring to education.
It definitely has for me. I'm walking away feeling energized, inspired by all the incredible work that's already being done out there, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
And remember, that future isn't something that's just happening to us. We're all shaping it. Through the choices we make, the actions we take, the commitment we bring to creating a world where learning is truly accessible and empowering for everyone.
That's such an important reminder. To our listeners, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring this amazing landscape. The future of learning is literally in our hands. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI and the future of education.